All right, Gator. Gator, where'd you grow up? Where are you from originally?
Uh, Florida City in Homestead.
Down south, very southern tip. Tell me about your family.
Oh, wow, man. I got a crazy past. Uh, I never had my mom and dad. My grandfather and grandmother raised me. We are spiritual people, and we believe in the higher spirit. My grandfather started teaching me when I was 5 on up to see and talk to spirits that come through, and it wasn't easy, but as I got older, it got easier. And he taught me how to see spirits, talk to spirits, and listen to them, and actually reach out and touch a spirit. It's very delicate. How you have to reach out and yet they tickle your palm of your hand. They tickle your palm of your hand, and then they make you know that they're there. You know, they tickle you all over. You feel these little tickle spots going on. Yeah. And my grandmother, at age 14, she taught me how to cook. So,
That was connected with some sort of religion?
yeah. My grandmother and grandfather, they're spiritual, and they're native and Dutch.
What religion was it that they were?
Yeah, my grandfather and grandmother was Dutch, and they were more native on the native side. My grandfather was, and my grandmother was more Dutch. But they had a mix. They both had a mixture of both native and Dutch.
Where were your mom and dad? Where was your mom and dad?
My mom and dad. My dad was he was a sicko. He was sick. He had a bad habit, drinking. We got raised on the farm. We had gators, longhorn steers, African bulls, milking cows, and we had 400 milking cows. And my father used to stay drunk all the time, and he couldn't afford to pay for help to come in, and and let us kids, we were kids at the time, and go to school and learn something. You know, we had to sneak away sometimes to go to school.
How far did you go in school?
I went to the 9th grade. I had 2 failures in my life, and that's reading and writing. I can read now. I can read so and so. I mean, but the big words with all the vowels, and I still have trouble with. I can't write. Can't write for nothing.
What kind of work have you done? What kind of work have you done?
Oh man, I build houses. I lay brick, block, pour cement. I did blacktop. I even rebuilt a diesel truck motor. I took when I got to go to school. I took off a small engine in Bosie's. There's a small engine repair, and I worked for a tractor trailer company. They're called Fuhoff Tractor Trailer Company, and they had 26 doors that you drive in and out. And I used to pull the trailers in and out. When they got done building them, I pulled one out and bring another one in. And I did that all day long, and then they switched me around to the paint booth. Then I started spray painting clear over these brand new gas trailers. They come in, they're aluminum. So we had this really strong clear that they use on jets. Because the aluminum, sooner or later it loosens up and chips and cracks. But with this chrome arm paint that they call, and that man, he went out there with a ball beam hammer, and he hit that thing about 6-7 times, and not a dent. Because of the 3 coats of clear I put on.
Back to your childhood. What was it like growing up with your grandparents? Back to your childhood. What was it like growing up with your grandparents?
My father, I couldn't deal with my father That's why I say I never had a father and mother. My mother, he used to beat my mother, and he used to take her, tie her up with baling string. And there comes a bale of hay, and beat her, and then rape her.
Your father?
Yeah. So she ended up moving away and going with, she met a black guy down in Hudson, New York. And she ended up going back and forth with him. And she used to come out to the farmhouse and kidnap us kids. And we get away for about a month or two before my father finds us. You know, he had somebody else out looking for us. He wasn't a kind guy or terrible. He wasn't a good father. You know, he was.
How did he treat you?
We never got along. He used to beat me with a it's called a cow strap, a milk machine strap. It goes across the cow's back, and it's a black strap, and it has a bunch of holes in it with brass rings in it. And at the other end, it has a long hook, metal hook that hooks up underneath it, and it hooks into the strap. And you put the milk machine on it, and that holds the milk machine. And it used to be whack us with that. We used to go to school with rubber hose marks on our backs, and cow straps, and cat tails that come out of the swamps. And back then, child abuse was nothing. Didn't even have a word. Meaning, didn't even have a meaning to it. Abuse. Yeah. Anything that you got from your parents, you must have deserved, you know, or they did it for pleasure and they still got away with it. My father murdered my brother. It hurts. And he got away with it. He hung with a piece of string bound around that comes off a bale of hay. He threw it over the pipe in the barn. And they found him swinging back and forth because the air was blowing. And I don't know why, but I don't know how he got away with it. I used to have bad dreams, and I turned around and I was talking in my sleep. I was talking to my brother. His spirit was set free. He wasn't a guilty party. He was set free to do what to do his life with the free spirits. And
how old was your brother?
He was 15.
And your dad hung him.
And
your dad hung him?
Oh, there was 3 boys and 3 girls.
But your dad hung your brother? It sounds like.
Well, I was in and out all the time because me and my father, we never seen eye to eye. After getting whipped and beaten so many times, I just walked away. I couldn't deal with it anymore. I went to the sheriff's department, and after 5 years after my brother passed away, I had bad dreams. My brother was calling me by my name, trying to reach out and somebody help him. I couldn't do it. I didn't know what to do. But I wanted to kill my father so bad, but I never did. I made threats, but I was warned. I was warned to stay away. You know, you're not allowed so many feet or miles from him, and you just it was a painful thing, very, very painful. I never knew I would have to go through seeing something like that in my family. I felt it, something weird and strange coming in from the spirits. They would let me know that there was something happening, going to happen. But I was still learning from my grandfather that what the spirits can do for you, and hopefully they can help you. They're here to guide you into a better way. You know, they're not here to hurt you, but you got so many different spirits. Where I stay now, over in Manchester and Western Ave, in a retirement home place. It's not retired. It was for people over 65, or well, I'm not 65, but there's younger people there, and it's too much hate in that building. I can feel it. It's nights that I can't stay there. I go out in the streets until daybreak. I watch a fold up cardboard box. It's not a cardboard, but you put your clothes in it, and it has a zipper top and thing. I watched it move, boom, 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 back and forth. I was like, wow, man, what's going on here? And I've been freaking out. And the lady upstairs, she's making all kinds of noise. And I think she got some kind of voodoo or something, you know? And I don't know. I got a cousin, he works for the sheriff's department. He gave me a little monitor, which monitors you're running across the ceiling. You walk back and forth in your apartment, and you walk across the ceiling, and you find a microphone or a speaker or something that they plant into the floor, and listen to your conversation while you're on the phone, while you're in whatever in your apartment. You don't even know that they're doing it, but I can feel it. I can feel this. The spirits are telling me that there's something happening, and I caught them, but they let them go. They didn't go and arrest them. They gave me a warning. You know that you're breaking the law by butting into listening to somebody's personal conversation, and you're breaking. What is it? You're breaking. I forgot what he said, but.
When did you come to Los Angeles?
I don't know. I'm getting lost there. I seem like I'm thinking too fast, thinking too hard. I got a plate in my head. I got beat in the head with a bumper jack, the old bumper jack, and the handle, the one lug nut. I got beat in the head 5 times from crackheads. They heard me talking about painting my sister's bar. I painted it like 3 times because it was oak wood, and I had to paint it inside for 3 times. She gave me $800, and they thought I had $800 on me. I only had $23, and they thought they were going to get something out of it. We was at a party. We had another party, and they were hiding in the garage, doing their thing or whatever. And I didn't drink. I drank old booze. And you know, and I didn't smoke. I don't smoke. I don't smoke or drink still. I gave it up a long time ago.
What are you doing here on Skid Row? What are you doing here on Skid Row?
Uh,
if you don't smoke or drink. If you don't smoke or drink, what are you doing down here?
I live life like life is supposed to be lived, you know, free, open, and spiritually, respectfully. Treat your body like it's supposed to be treated. Don't abuse it, you know, in your mind. I mean, I got to take, because I got a plate in my head, I got to take these pills, and I got to take 2 pills. It's Sambolta and the Bidifier. The Sambolta helps me think more wisely, it opens my mind up, and it runs free, and the Bidifier stops me from having seizures, heart attacks, strokes, and all that from the pill, because it's so powerful, you know.
Have you been in love before? Have you been in love before?
I had 2 relationships. Both of them were bartenders. I met. I had a daughter, Angel Lee. She's about 38 now. I have a son. We call him Gator the Third. He's 22, 23. He had a different mother. My first girlfriend was a bartender. She was a rowdy, and that's her daughter. Our daughter, and the second girl was a stripper, and she quit being a stripper. And then 9 years later, I meet her in the same bar as I met the first one, and we went out for about 2.5 years. But I couldn't get along with her mother. She was crazy. She attacked me one time and taking a nail and trying to dig my face all up, and I had to push her away. And then the cops came, and oh man, it was crazy. It was a scene beyond the sight of another scene. I don't know how to say that it's exactly right, but my best part of life was wrestling gators.
Wrestling gators?
Yeah, wrestling gators.
Tell me about wrestling alligators.
I got 2 missing fingertips. I got a claw mark here. I got a claw mark here. And I got another one right here underneath there.
How big are these alligators? How big are they? I
wrestled with a 24-foot gator, but they're heavy and they're slow. The badasses, oh man, you get the 8 and 10, 9, 10 foot. They're squeaky. They're worse than, I don't think I can think of anything as fast. There's a little bit of water on the bottom of like a swimming pool. Man, they got the fastest. They're like a lizard. The giant lizards. You see them running through the desert. Yeah, they'd be boogieing. Man,
Can I ask why you wrestle a gator?
Huh?
Why do you wrestle an alligator?
It seemed like it would be fun because I seen it done, and it's fear. It's fearful, and it's a different kind of fearful you got to go against. And you're going against a creature that's been bombarding for years, many years. Gators and alligators.
It's like fighting a dinosaur.
They go back in a dinosaur. Yeah.
What's the goal? To pin it down so it can't.
No, to pin it down. You have people watching this stuff, and then you grab them by the tail, and you swing them around, and you roll them over, and you pin them, and you rub the belly. You roll them over on the back, and you rub the belly, and they go to sleep. Yeah, I was doing a demonstration for a group of people, and I was on TV. I wasn't really on TV. Called the Gator Boys in Florida. They might have changed all that now, but different things. But it's been years since I've been there. But I took it and held the gator's mouth open, and I put my head into the gator's mouth. I was doing good. Then all of a sudden, I started sweating, when I sweat, I had sweat come off my forehead, run down my top of my nose and to the tip of my nose, and then bam, it hit the gator's tongue. And he went, ah, like that. He laughed at my head. I thought that was it. It took 8 people for to hold the gator down so he wouldn't do the death roll. 4 to open up his mouth, hold his mouth. They had pickaxes, they had shovels, they had hammers, the handle. And that took him about 20 minutes, about 30 minutes to get his mouth open. Man, I had headaches for 4 to 5 months. I had imprints in the side of my head, my jaw right here, and my pupils. Oh man, that hurt. I had twisted my neck. I broke my neck. He broke my neck on it, and I broke my neck twice. Only once with the gator though, and he was pissed off. I mean, he was about a 12-footer, and he was ready to rip me apart. And it don't take much for a gator, because they got the healthy and the all one unit, and they're fluff, and he can take your head and really so quick, faster than a chainsaw or somebody swinging an axe, a machete. He can be twice as fast. I seen people get hurt. I was wrestling him and I got hit by the tail. Threw me 7 feet in the air. The tail did. I come down and I landed on my ankles. And this one here, right where the joint is, I broke it. And this is the worst one. I got 6 pins in there, and 3 of them are broken. And it's right across the front. And man, that hurts. This one here, I got 6 pins in it, but none of them are broken. Because they broke it in a different way. I come down a different way, and I tell you, I had a lot of fun in my child. Worked with the Carnival. The Carnival, man, I was 14 when I went with the Carnival. And that's where I joined up with the wrestling gators. You get a Carnival come in with the show people how to wrestle gators and stuff. And I was a game guy first. I threw dimes and dishes. Whatever the dime done, that's a dish, or a glass, or cup, a shot glass, or whatever. That's what you win. And I did that for 10 years. Made good money. I made 10% out of $1. 10% out of $1 is 10%. Well, you got to sell 20 dimes. My helper has to sell $20 worth of dimes to make $2 for themselves. So the more dimes you sell, the more money you make. And I did that for 10 years, and I became the foreman. Then my boss passed away, one of the brothers. And then I wanted to try something new. I went to the rides. And I became a foreman after being on the rides for about 5 months. I became a foreman of the flying bobs and the switch bobs. The flying bobs, the cars, they look like a sled that you pull behind a horse in the snow. You know, the horse pulls the sled. The switch bobs is a 5-man car that you push down the ice. That is down the chutes. And the 5 guys are pushing it and they jump in it and they shoot down through the chutes. That's pretty good, but it ran like an orbit around. It was so loud, man. You couldn't even hear the music. I don't care how loud you play the music. You couldn't hear it. It was worse than a train coming through.
What was the best time of your life? What was the best time of your life? What's your favorite memory?
My best time of life would be the Carnival and the wrestling gators. But the gators, wrestling the gators, I really liked that job. Because they made you think, walk more wisely and more wildly.
You were an entertainer. You were an entertainer.
Yeah. I ate a 8-foot gator tail. And it's 30 minutes. I ate it. You take it and you fillet it down to the last 2 pieces of skin. Then you give it a decision. And both ends you cut it. Then you cut it down the middle. You use garlic, butter, and lemon. Then you wrap it up in aluminum foil and wax paper. Excuse me. Then you put it into a pre-steamer. You steam it. Now, if you cook it any other way, fry it, boil it, bake it, all that, yeah, it tastes like chicken. If I want chicken, I go get me a chicken. You know, why would I want to eat gator and it tastes like chicken? That's just the way the meat was, you know. And if you steam it, man, you have the best gator dinner you ever have. You walk out of there with a smile. I was in Pasadena, Oceanside, when I got here. And I was at the Social Security building, and I was talking to the security guard. And the security guard asked me, "Hey, Gator, how come they call you Gator?" And I told him this and this and that. And they turned around and they said, I told them, you know, well, I wrestle gators, and I smash gators, and they smash me, and I smash them back, and they went back and forth. And we got to used to each other, so that we became partners, smashing back one another. They come out with some bruises and make it look like you've been in a real big tango bar fight or something. And I told them, what you do is you go find you a place that they sell gators meat. And he went to a place. He said it's a sports thing where you go there and get all your sports stuff. And it has a little canal running and this and that. And then they sold gator meat, and he took his wife and his 2 kids. He said he went there and he told the cook. I said the best way to do it, man, let him know. You don't want it fried, baked, boom, all that garbage stuff. You want it steamed. He went and told the cook, the waitress that. The waitress didn't know what to think. And he come back the next day and he said, "Gator, guess what? We went and had gator meat. We took your word on how to make it and all this and that." And he said they came out, and the owner came out and said, "You know, where'd you hear this from?" And all this. "Yeah, I met a friend. His name is Gator. He used to wrestle alligators." And he told us that the best way to cook the meat is to steam it. And that's what they did. 20 minutes, you get the best plate of gator meat you ever had. You can eat it like stew almost. You don't even have to cook gator meat. You can eat it raw. Yeah. Why?
Do you have any vices, Gator? Do you have any vices? Like you don't drink, you don't smoke?
I don't drink, don't smoke, no. No, I don't need to. I used to. I don't know. It's something that meet up in here in my lungs, and I thought it was nasty. After I quit, I smoked cigars, I chewed tobacco, and I did just like everybody else in the world did. But one day on my birthday, I just cut cold turkey. I didn't need a program or nothing. I didn't need help here. I got all these people trying to do it, other people. Some people need it, some people don't. You know? It's all in the way the game goes. It's all in the positives. Which way you think and which way you don't.
Do you have any regrets in your life?
Regression?
Regrets?
Man, I got a little regression getting my father. You know, and my mother. It wasn't my mother's fault, but she should have never left. She should have never avoided abandoning us kids with a ugly father that we had. You know, kept us home from school. I barely went to school. You know, yeah. If we went to school, we come home, we get an ass whipping, with a rubber hose off the milk machine, and we have bruises all up and down our bodies. Go to school, show the nurse, but you must have deserved it. Yeah, and It just went on and on, and it drove me away. And I feel really bad for what happened to our family. I wish I was never even a part of life then, out of that part of the family. I wish I was somebody else's family. But people, I see other people who used to go to school with frames around your bottom of your boots because we never had a chance to clean up or get ready for school or change our clothes. We go to school smelling like cow manure, like a farm. And walk around with cow pasture all around your boots and shoes. Get called names. I used to fight a lot in school to try to beat somebody, and prove a point. It's us farmers that feed you and your family. If you're not doing the farm work, any kind of farm work, the crop, this and that, whatever, picking apples or picking corn, or that's the thing. But my best thing was the Carnival, because I did that for 32 years. I broke my back on the flying box. 8 feet up in the air, pouring down rain, and we go out in these little thin bars like this, all the way to the outside to the end, and we have a rope. One guy on one pole, one on the other. We pull the scenery up. We hook it. It was raining out. His slip. He couldn't hang on to it. I tried to hang on to mine, so I wouldn't bust the scenery all up, and the light bulbs. I did the best I could, and boop, there I went. I come down. I landed across some blue steel. It was on the ground, and I got up and walked away. But about 3-4 days later, I was laying down in my bunk truck where I stayed at, and I did the wrong body turn in the bed, and man, I locked up. It hurt. It hurt so bad. I couldn't take the pain. And 3 operations, 3 staph infections. I wanted to do something about it, but I couldn't do nothing about it because they had me strung out on pills back then in Miami. I wanted to sue the hospital. I said, how am I going to get staph infection from a hospital? Dirty needles or something went wrong. I don't know. I could never, nobody would even tell me nothing. Nobody would help me to try to accomplish something and to win maybe something out of something. They give me $68,000, $6,800. You call that money? And then for broken back, I got four rides in my back, 2 to go all the way up to my neck. I got no tailbone. I have trouble walking because of the nerves. I ride a bike better than I walk because I'm sitting down in the seat and my body's not all on my feet. But out here, man, I'd be walking and my feet, they feel like they're on fire.
Gator, what would you say is the most important lesson you've learned in your life?
Mm-hmm.
What would you say is the most important lesson you've learned in your life?
I don't know. I haven't really, some of these things I try to think I'm going to get something, do something right, and go after them or this and this, and then all of a sudden, boom, it falls apart and backfires on me. I was living over here in 51st 54th and Avalon. And my landlord, we his father, when I first moved in, I've been there for 9 years. We got along good. And his wife passed away. Then he caught old man's disease, and he finally passed away. And his son took over. And his son, maybe he had some kind of attitude problem or something. And he broke gave the guy upstairs over top of me, broke my bedroom window in, and threw bugs in my house, into the carpet. Took me 2, 3, 4 months before they adapted. Before I know it, I couldn't do nothing about it. They were eating me up alive.